Welcome to Middle Fingers Up. This is an It's Good to Gup Shup segment. That means it's just you and I. I have some notes. I want to chat with you guys. So let's just get right into it. Okay, I need to talk because something happened today that I think pulled a lot together for me. I was at the gym on the treadmill, and when you decide how long, for me it was 30 minutes. When the time is up, you go into cool down mode, so the pace gets slower, and you kind of have to be prepared for it. Otherwise, you kind of jolt. And I guess I was like dead in thought. I didn't even realize 30 minutes went by as fast as it did. And I jolted as the pace went down to enter cool down moment. And I was a little shocked at like, holy crap. But I think what happened as to why I didn't even notice the time passing, as I said, I was in a deep zone of thinking. And I was thinking about, and I've actually been thinking about this a lot lately, my relationship with myself in, as we all say now, in this season of my life. I recently posted on Instagram stories just a little tiny sneak peek into my world about this weight gain I'm going through and perimenopausal symptoms that I've been having. And I got a lot of messages from a lot of women who had a lot of compassion, who were going through similar, who were really grateful to start talking about this. I felt like after today's jolt on the treadmill, maybe this is the Gup Shup for us to have. So thank you for being part of this conversation. We're talking about perimenopause. Hormones changing, body changing, identity shifting, that whole thing. No one really tells you how intense it is until you're in it. And then when you're in it, you're like, oh, okay. And you're just kind of figuring it out step by step because new things keep evolving and happening. And you feel like, what the heck, man? I thought I was doing everything right. I'm so disciplined. I eat well. I work out, so I move well, I stay hydrated, I take my vitamins, I go to bed on time to get the rest I need. Then it's like my body's doing its own thing, and then my mind is over somewhere else having all these reactions and thoughts, and I'm mediating conversations in life between my body and my mind. And the world has its own view, and it looks at women like us in this way of, what are you doing? Lazy, eat less, move more. My doctor literally said that to me. I walked in and she's like, oh, you look like when you came in pregnant with your child. You just aren't dieting. You're eating too much. You're not exercising. And I'm like, listen, lady, you have no clue what my schedule is like and how I'm doing all of those things. And I think that's very outdated to tell us women in this phase to just have less calories and exercise more. Because research is even saying, as new as just coming out this year, that there's a lot of confirmation that it's outdated advice because hormones literally change fat distribution, our sleep quality, our mood, our libido, our cognition. All of that is impacted in this mega hormonal moment. So just to simplify it and say, oh, exercise more or eat different, I don't think that's the full picture. And a lot of us feel frustrated and unheard. And I just want to reach out to all of us that are in that boat. It doesn't have to end there. So while I was on the treadmill today, I was thinking about, I'm doing all this work, but am I actually showing up for myself in the way of being kind to myself, being gentle to myself, thanking myself for doing all the things that I am doing, as opposed to how it's just not enough? And Am I celebrating myself? Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, am I acknowledging the effort that I am putting forth? Because if I don't, then who will? No one knows the work that you put in when you're eating well, or when you're trying to get to sleep, or you say no to that seventh dessert, or you go to the gym and sweat out everything you possibly can. Like, nobody knows but you know. So don't you think that we deserve to give ourselves a little more credit and kindness and say, you're doing such a wonderful job, lady. And don't forget that. Look at the way your body showed up for you. Look at the way your mind's showing up for you. I think we have to talk more about this relationship with ourselves in this phase, even more than our protein and creatine and all the eatines, I guess, all the supplements and all that stuff. Yeah, that's all important, but none of it matters if we are not present with ourselves and being a team with ourselves. And so I think that's a thread that keeps coming up for me, is that this is a chapter where we rebuild our relationship with ourselves. This is our second puberty. Perimenopause is literally a second puberty. There's research that shows sleep disruption skyrockets because estrogen and progesterone swings. And so this messes with different rhythms within ourselves, and the mood changes. Well, there's a calming hormone that I won't even begin to medically say the term because I'm going to butcher it. But basically, this calming hormone dips, and guess what happens? We have a whole lot of brain fog. Verbal memory and focus also take a hit during this time. So then we come down to this libido. It's not personal, it's physiological. So when I look at my 14-year-old, he and I were kind of in the same boat. Emotional shifts, identity changes, hormones running the show. But obviously he gets the compassion and the grace because he's a teenager, and that's part of the lifespan that we all learn about, that we all go through. Somehow as women age, we forget this part of the lifespan and even further into our lifespan, and we're sort of forgotten about. And I want to remind us that, hello, we are here and we are in this perimenopause/menopausal time, and we don't want to be forgotten about. So maybe this is kind of where I do a little, hey, hello, if our partners are men, I just want to have a conversation with you dudes. I just want you to listen for a second. So those stories we used to hear years ago, where you hear men talk about their wives in a way of saying, oh, my wife just went crazy. She's changed. She doesn't want to have sex. She's so cold. Now I'm like I'm that wife. And I want to say this clearly, like, she didn't go crazy. She's waking up. She ran out of space for the things that she's tolerated. She's finally putting herself on the list, and her hormones are doing a full body renovation. So men, when she says she's not in the mood, it's like, honestly, not that she's into someone else. She's not rejecting you. Her body is overwhelmed. Her sleep is broken, and research shows that sleep drives libido. Her nervous system is flooded. Her estrogen is swinging. Her serotonin is dipping. Her joints hurt. Her brain is rewiring. So it's not about grieving how things used to be. It's about how things are right now. We can grieve later, but we got to focus on what's happening right now, because things are happening really fast. And if you want connection during this season, be gentle with her, be patient, help more. Do the emotional labor, not just the physical tasks. Stop comparing her to the version of her from 5-10 years ago. Don't you think she already feels like shit about that person that she wishes she still was, or is fake and trying to be like? So this is kind of the thing, right? Women don't say it out loud, and often. If she feels pressured, she's going to shut down. If she feels supported, she's going to come back. So her sexuality isn't disappearing. look at it as a way of it's recalibrating. And if you meter through all of this, you'll actually get through this stronger. And that's a proof in our household. So there's this like awakening that I want to talk a little bit more about, right? It's the part that we don't really warn or update each other about in this so-called season of life, when women also start to understand misogyny and patriarchy in a whole new way. And I think it's not necessarily always from their partner. It's from the culture of misogyny and patriarchy. It's from expectations. It's from the invisible labor. It's from being told to, be little, shrink, stay quiet, just be the glue, be organized, be the peacekeeper, ... And perimenopause is the time where a lot of us women go like, why am I still doing this? And maybe even more importantly, who am I when I stop? There's research showing that as estrogen declines, women actually gain confidence. It's so weird. I don't even know. It's so weird to say, but it also makes sense. We start to gain this independence and we start setting some boundaries because estrogen is linked to social appeasing. So when it dips, we get more clear, we get more direct, less tolerant of nonsense. And so I think this is why men then often say, oh, she's changed. I think though, really, it's not that she's changed. She's returning to herself. She's finding this new part of herself. And there has to be some grace for that. So back to the treadmill. When the treadmill slowed down today, it snapped me back. Literally and figuratively. It's because I realized that this phase is where I have to talk to myself differently. I have to love myself differently. I have to celebrate myself, including my body, differently. And that's hard because society, consumerism, capitalism, all of that is wrapped into we have to look a certain way. We have to behave a certain way. And when the clothes stop fitting and the hair starts thinning, the wrinkles start showing, I think we start to realize, oh shit, I don't have to at all fall into this expectation of what women are supposed to look like. I have to be present in the way that I'm changing and find a new version of what that's supposed to be. So this body that I'm in, it's like she's not betraying me. She's transitioning. She's adapting. She's doing the best she can with fluctuating hormones, disrupted sleep, cortisol spikes, metabolism shifts, and all the thing that research is starting to acknowledge. So some research fact bombs. Sleep problems, as we're saying here, are normal. And so when these dips of our estrogen and progesterone dip, like I said, it impacts our rhythms. And so there are ways that we can start looking into to bring ourselves back to a better sleep hygiene. Our mood swings are biological. I won't even use the medical term of what it is, but basically there's like a serotonin levels and dopamine, levels are fluctuating here. And I think it's important for us to gauge what we are like when we're going through these mood swings, because sometimes there's a pattern of things that are bringing it on. I know for me, there are certain times and even times in the day where this happens. And so it's okay to write it down and just start to pay attention to our own patterns so then we know how to best combat them. Brain fog is real. So verbal memory, focus, working memory, all of that is shifting, writing things down and being okay to say, I don't remember that. And for those in our household, to give us a little bit of grace about that memory that's foggy. And then this libido change, right, as we said, is physiological. So there are different things that if this is an important part of our life, we can talk about and ask about estrogen therapy. We can also engage in CBT. So that's cognitive behavioral therapy. That's been known to help as well. And I think timing really, really matters. So I've been reading about when starting hormone therapy in perimenopause/menopause can help us on a long-term level. And hormone therapy has a lot of stigma against it. And so I really, really encourage us to look into that. And I think, here's where I'm going to say a lot of us women feel guilt at this time because we're loyal by nature and we have a relationship with our family doctor. Like, I love my doctor. She's been there since the birth of my babies. But as we keep saying, the season that we're in, it might be that what we need from our family doctor isn't what we're getting. And we could be getting that from a women's health specialist, someone who targets and knows the ins and outs of our hormones and what dips, what's being impacted. And I think it's worth us looking into women's health specialists to be able to figure out what is the thing that we need, because all of us are being impacted differently. We're not just all in the same box. So what's going on for me might look a little bit different for you and the next person. The other thing I was going to talk about is bladder changes are real. So if you already are someone that has pelvic floor issues since giving vaginal birth, then you know what it means to have this urgency. But then also like discomfort can increase in perimenopause, and that also impacts the libido as well. Hot flashes, vaginal dryness, these are also common, and there's ways to combat that and help us as well with that. So I just want to say, like, overall, when we see women in this season of their life, they may come off tired, distant, overwhelmed, short, emotional, saying the word no more often, wanting less sex, wanting more space. I think we all, whether it's our spouse, whether it's our mother, whether it's our sister, whether it's our friend, whether it's our colleague, whoever she is to you, just know that she's not disappearing. She may feel that way, but she can definitely use some compassion in her life because she may not know how to show it herself. So role model that for her. Perimenopause doesn't have to be a loss. And I think for eras, we've been sort of told that that's what it is. You're losing your youth, you're losing your womanhood. I don't necessarily think that is the case anymore. I think we have a lot of good research out there. We have a lot of doctors that are committing to women's health. And even like, you can see this on TikTok. There's a lot out there to support men and help men see that this 45 to 60 is a really, really huge part of a woman's journey. And there are ways that men have to step up and show up for us. And generations before just have not done that. So when we look at perimenopause, we can look at it as a realignment, a time when women are taking inventory of our lives, our bodies, our needs, our relationships. And that's a great thing because we often aren't greeted with an opportunity to do those kinds of things as women, because often it's go, 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 and think of everybody else before yourself. So if you are in a relationship with her, support her. Don't take it personally. Listen more than you react. Ask her what she needs, even if she doesn't know what that is. Trust me, being asked that just goes, it's so supportive. It's so helpful on so many levels. And understand that, this phase is not the end of her. And she's already probably grieving this old part of her. So don't miss what she isn't anymore, but get excited. Welcome the beginning of someone new. And I think if I can say one more thing, and this is like the body image part, I really want to encourage us as a society to look at what we expect women to look like from a body type, physically, hair thinning, all these sorts of things that impact us, but we hide it. We don't talk about it. It's okay to age gracefully if you are choosing to go that route. Like me at this point in my life, I don't know where I'll be at 60, but at least right now, that's where I am. And I think that we can talk more openly about the normalcy of putting on some of that weight, clothes fitting differently, it doesn't mean that we're not trying. It just means that our body is shifting and we have to give it space to be able to do that. Our body has done a lot for us over the years, and it's time to give back to it now. So I'll leave it at that. My name is Kieran. This is a It's Good to Gup Shup segment between you and I. Let me know. Let me know how this conversation hit. If there's anything you want to add to it, we can definitely keep talking. I'm here. I'm listening. Thank you.